everybody, it's Doug here, welcoming you to another playthrough of a game. Now, I just wrapped up doing a kind of a learn to play session of 7th Continent. I'm going to play it a couple more times and revisit it because I want to play it. I think I want to play it for you guys when I know the rules better, because that was a learning session for me. That was kind of interesting. But we're going to play Massive Darkness today, if you can't tell by the board. And I'm going to do some things I'm going to try and do a little differently. This is the first scenario, so you may have seen this a bunch, but I've included a lot of the extras that come from the Kickstarter, and I'm going to be playing a very specific group of characters. I'll describe the scenario, what we have to do, etc. But if you want to, I'm not going to go over setup in this at all, because there's so many videos on setup that it's just unreal. So you could go to, let's see, you go to One Stop Co-op Shop. You could go to Rolling Solo. Those YouTube channels, see their playthroughs of this game, and they also go through into some detail into setup. There's also Toucan Play does a big one. There's a couple, and another one you can go watch. Grey Elephant Gaming, they did a playthrough as well. So there's a bunch of that tells you how to set up. So I've already set up everything for this scenario, and we're on the starting tile for it. I'm going to talk about first. I am going to talk to you about the scenario. Then I'm going to talk about the characters we're going to play. Now, there is a tutorial that probably many of you have seen, but we're not going to play through that today. We're going to play through Quest 1. It's called Scorched Earth. Now, remember, in this game, we're light bringers. We're trying to uncover these artifacts to help drive away the darkness that's come up from the underworld and ravage the overland of the country. And so this is the quest where we're first taking our real venture. We knocked over an outpost in the tutorial, and now we're moving on. Okay, so it says, after the first step is the second. You are ready for another trip deeper underground. This time, you will recover some artifacts hidden in the darkness and use them to destroy this evil nest. Quest objectives are: complete the objectives in this order to win the game and recover the artifacts. 1. Find and pick up the 2 artifact tokens. I'll show you where those are as we play. There are basically 4 tokens on the board, but only 2 of them are artifacts. Then 2, reach the library token with the heroes holding the 2 artifacts and end the round with no enemies in that room. Okay, so that's what we're going to have to do. We have to get all the way, and this is a really lengthy map, pretty big map here for this game, because this game, we get jumped a lot. And then it says set up, randomly place 2 artifact tokens and 1 layer token face down in the zone. The zones with the face down objective tokens. So I've done that. And then it says dead ends, layer tokens. When a layer token is picked up, discarded, and heroes gain 5 XP. So we can pick up the layer. There is a layer token very close by that would give somebody some experience points very quickly. Then when an artifact token is picked up, the hero keeps it as if it were a normal item. Heroes may trade it normally, so we're going to get some artifacts. It's cool. Then the final room, the zone holding a library token is considered to be a special location. In addition to resolving the door card for the chamber, draw a guard card and set corresponding enemies in the zone. So we're going to have big extra fight there at the end of it. So we got to really hustle it up to try and get these artifacts and get to the end of the adventure. So how's this going to play out? Well, let's talk about who we're going to play first. So I've dubbed this the Lovely Lady Lightbringers scenario. So this is scenario 1, but we're going to play. I grabbed some really cool female characters out of the game because I didn't see a lot of them being played. I only saw 1 that was played regularly. And we're going to talk about those. So let's get going. So first up, we're going to have Sybil. Now Sybil, people have seen Sybil a lot, I think. She's been played quite a bit, so I thought I'd touch on her first. Sybil is her recommended class is the Nightshade Ranger, and you can see her special abilities for that, but let's go over her real quickly. Now I'm starting her with a bow and leather armor, which is starting gear. She has the shadow ability. That means when she's in shadow mode, remember I'm not going to cover all the rules, so I'm just expecting you either gone to watch something else or you kind of get the game already. Her shadow mode skill is she can, with a BAM, she can get +2 on an attack. Her special skill is Eagle-Eyed. She may reroll blank results 1 additional time. And again, recommended class is the Nightblade Ranger, which is what we've taken. And I'm not going to go over the level up abilities. We'll do that as she levels up, but we'll talk about this. Her signature, which means she has to spend 1 XP to attack, says you may reroll any number of defense dice 1 additional time. That's pretty good. And her free class skill is Slippery, which means she can move through enemies without having to stop and deal with them. That's pretty good. Now, I am going to be playing in story mode, which means you're going to be using the micro XP. And one of the reasons I like doing that, even if we didn't play the next session, is the characters level up really fast, and it kind of makes the end of the game more easy if you're leveling up that quickly, because the gear gets really good toward the higher levels, and the abilities get really powerful comboed together. So as we've played, I noticed that as we got toward the end, we were crushing things, and some of the things were really tough, and we were just devastating them. So I'm going to play in story mode, not only because I want to continue this quest with you guys, like I want to continue the quest of so many other games I've got on the table, but I want to also take a little more time leveling these guys up. So that's what we're going to do. So that's Sybil. Here's one I haven't seen in a playthrough, which is interesting. This is Sarah. She is her recommended class is Noble Warrior, and that's what we took. Her shadow mode skill is Sarah gets attack +1 per ally in the same zone when she's in shadows. So she likes to hang with people, and she's got a cool special skill. So she's almost always likely to get that bonus, at least for one person. It says special skill, Follow Me. Once per activation, when Sarah performs a move action, select another hero in the same zone. Both move to the same zone. So she can drag people along with her. That's pretty cool. We got her with a spear to start with, and a leather armor. I don't know how good the spear is going to be for, but it can be used to perform a melee attack at range 0 and 1, so that's pretty good. All right. Her ability, now it's only one yellow die, which isn't very good, but we'll beef these up as we go. And then her signature ability of the Noble Warrior is target locked. It says spend 1 XP. Choose an enemy in line of sight. Heroes attacking that enemy get a attack +1 until the use of this signature again. So it's kind of like a permanent lock almost on that enemy. But we'll be using it a lot on wandering monsters and lieutenants, or agents, etc. And then she has a special ability of command, which allows her to grant somebody else an ability. And that's going to be Sarah. And here's Mila. Now, Mila came out of one of the expansions. She is recommended to be a Shadow Barbarian, which is one of the other main classes of one of the main characters in the box as well. But she's different. So I chose to take her. Now, she's your typical scantily clad barbarian, so she's definitely one of the lovely ladies, light bringers that's coming to the table. Her shadow mode skill is she gets attack BAM equals defender -1 defense die. So that's pretty awesome. She gets to remove a defense die. That's pretty cool. Okay, special skills. Leg swipe. Once per activation, roll a red die. On a BAM, inflict 1 wound to an enemy in the same zone. On a diamond, inflict 1 wound and stun an enemy in the same zone. Pretty cool abilities. Now, she's carrying a big old axe, which is 1 red die. It's probably one of the better starting weapons from damage. And she's got leather armor. Problem with the axe and the spear is they don't give you any defense, or the bow for that matter. Her signature move is instantly kill 1 targeted minion. That's pretty good. And she gets +1 max health. So we're going to resolve that right now, because that's her special free class ability. She actually starts with 6 health. And that's going to be Mila. And then one of my favorites, one I played when we were playing our campaign, was Whisper. Whisper's cool. She's a Blood Moon Night Runner, which is kind of a roguish thief type character. Sneaky. Her ability, her shadow mode ability, is attacker. When she attacks, the defender gets -1 shield, which is very cool. Her special skill is Swift. She gets +1 movement point per movement action. That means she can move farther and faster. It's pretty cool. And she, again, recommended class is the Blood Moon Night Runner. Okay, her special ability is spend 1 XP to make 1 free move action. And then her free class skill is Master of Shadows. The hero is considered in shadow mode for their first attack each activation. So anytime they make a first attack roll, doesn't matter if they're in the light or not, they're considered in shadow mode, which gives her that defensive ability. And later on gives her some other stuff too. So that is Whisper, and those are going to be our 4 characters we're going to be playing with. Okay, now this is the layer that's already exposed. The other 3 tokens are face down. We have to discover them, but we know that that's just a layer. It's not one of the artifacts. I guess they didn't want to put an artifact that close to the front of the room. Again, so a couple of the things. There's a house rule I'm going to play with just because I think it's more interesting. It's when creatures drop their stuff, they drop it where they're killed. So if the person that killed them, if there's not somebody in that space, then someone has to move there and pick it up like they would treasure. So, as part of a move action. So that's what we're going to do, and that'll make it a little more interesting. I know one of my YouTube buddies, One Stop Co-op Shop, he did that too, and I thought it worked well. So we're going to do that. Again, I've thrown everything in the kitchen sink in here, so there's going to be all kinds of different wandering monsters. Ones maybe you won't see from the base game, and troglodytes, reptilian or reptisaurians or whatever, and something else, the ratlings. So it should be fun. Okay, guys, let's get started. We're going to get right to it with turn one. The first player, person with the first player token, is going to be Sarah. So we're going to get started with her. Okay, so one of the crazy aspects of this game is the stuff that can happen during the gameplay. Now, I had to actually restart already. And because what happened was when I first started the turns, on the very first encounter or event phase, I drew a wandering monster, and I drew this guy, and he had a sword with him that added to his attacks, and he literally wiped the entire party out. So I have erased all that, and I've gone back to restart, getting that Minotaur on the first draw. First off, we had a bunch of orcs that were really tough, and then that. So I basically got wiped out. So we're just going to pretend that none of that happened. We're going to start again. We're going to take Sarah's turn. She is the one that's starting. Let's get on with that now. Okay, boom. All right, here is Sarah. Now we're going to use her ability already, her special ability right off the bat. And we're going to take the first move action. She's going to pull somebody along with her. So for her first action, this is her right here. She's going to step into the space. She is taking, sorry, this is her right here, rather. That's her, the big sword. She steps into here, and she is going to take Mila along with her ability of Follow Me, which allows her to take one person along in the movement phase. And then for the second point of her movement action, she's going to open this door, which means we're going to draw a room card and see what happens in that room. Hopefully not what happened last time. Alright, so let's draw our door card and see what we get. We get 3 treasures and a guard card, and then no enemies and 2 treasures in the second part of the room. It's only a 2-room spot there, so let's go see what we get. So first off, I will put the 3 treasures in here, like so, and then there's going to be another 2 in here. That's awesome. We got treasures galore going on. That's good stuff for us. And then we're going to draw a guard card. So here are the level 1 guard cards. Let's see what we get. We're going to get dwarf defenders. Okay, so those are fighter types. That's not so bad for us. And they're going to come with a level 1 treasure. So let's see what that looks like for them as well. Hopefully it's nothing they can use, but something they can use. Well, it is something they cannot use. It is a Javelin of Sure Strike, which is going to replace Sybil's bow. I can tell you that right now. It's better. Alright, and then we're going to place that underneath them. Now they cannot use it, and the reason they can't use it, if you don't know the rules, is because these have to line up with something they already have. You can see that they don't have an archery skill. So they just have 1 yellow die on this mob, but they do have special ability. They can reroll blank results 1 additional time on defense. Let me go get those guys out and populate the room. There's going to be 4 of them plus a boss, and they have 1 hit point each. Okay, and there's the populated room. You can see that the boss is right here. This is him, guy with a big old hammer, spiky helmet. And then these are his 4 minions that are here with their big giant cleavers that do 1 yellow die each. And they're carrying javelins, but don't know how to use them, so they kind of suck. Alright, so that was her first activation. She moved, opened the door. Her second activation is she can use this at range. However, they are melee, so they're going to move into the space. Do I want to do that, or do I want to step in and attack? I think, because then we get our shadow skills. I think what she's going to do is she'll only get 1 attack, but that's okay. She's going to move into here and make 1 attack on these guys with her spear. Her spear does 1 yellow damage die against their 2 green, or 2 blue rather, so they're going to defend pretty well against her. They got 2 blue dice to defend against her. Well, let's see how we do. I also changed up for a smaller dice roller, but let's see what we get. We get nothing at all. Wow, can she reroll or anything? No, she can't. So she just stepped in and whiffed. She got nothing. So she didn't hit him at all. Whoosh. Now they do get to retaliate because she did attack them. And they would have retaliated even if she attacked from a distance because they could have come in after her. But let us do their attack. They're going to get 1 yellow die. Unfortunately, they hit better than she defends. So she's only got 1 blue die from her leather armor. So it's 1 yellow die versus 1 blue die. Let's see what happens. Well, they hit her. This is starting to go like my last game. Oh my god, the one that got wiped on. So we did nothing. They did 1 point of damage, and we don't have any rerolls. So that's her activation. So next up is going to be Mila. Now Mila's going to kill some stuff for sure. So she's going to charge in the room for her first activation. And then for her second activation, she's going to attack like crazy. Now, she can't pick up those treasures as part of her move action because there's enemies there. But she is going to fight them, which means she, however, gets a red die, which is significantly better versus their 2 blue defense dice. And she's got a special ability she will use at some point, and she's in shadows. And so when I was looking at Sarah, her shadow, well, she didn't get it. She didn't have anybody in the zone with her when she attacked. That will be next turn. So let us continue on. Sorry, I have something else now to make my my YouTube video professionalism even higher than the phone in my office. I now have a wireless printer. And now whenever anybody prints in my whole house, it comes out there and makes a whole bunch of noise. So I'm sorry, but that's the way it goes. We have one office, right? What can you say? All right, so next up, we are going to then attack with Mila. She's got her 1 red dice against 2 blue dice. Let's see if she can do anything at all. That would be awfully nice. And guess what? She did not. Unbelievable. 2 defense against nothing. I'm looking to see if she's got no abilities. So that's her second activation. For her third activation, she is going to use her special skill. It's called leg swipe. We'll do that at the end. And she got hit and she got blocked. So she did nothing. Oh my God, this has turned out the same as last time. This is horrible. Okay, but she does get to roll. She can do a leg swipe. She gets to roll. She rolls a bam. She knocks one out. She kills one. If she rolls a diamond, she does a wound and stuns one, but that stuns the mob. Okay, so she didn't do either. Okay. Well, that was the end of her activation. Now they're going to kill her. Man, we're just having the worst luck ever. 1 yellow versus, I think, 1 blue again. Yep, she's just got leather armor, so she's going to do that. We're going to see how much damage she takes after dealing nothing. Well, actually, good news is she blocked the damage. So she took no damage from the dwarves, but she did no damage as well. 2 full attacks and a special ability did 0 damage. And that's going to be the end of Mila's turn. Okay, next up we have Whisper. And I think you can see the whole board there, including her space and everything, at least a portion of it. She is here. She's going to move 1, 2 for her first part of her activation. She's moving into the room, and then she's going to attack. Now, she's only got 1 yellow die versus their 2 blue dice, but she is in shadow mode, so she gets to reduce the defense by 1. And so that's good. So let's see if she can actually do anything. Well, she actually did kill one of them. Finally, someone kills one of them. Now, normally it wouldn't be true, but because of her shadow mode skill, it says attack defender -1 shield. So she got 1 hit, 1 shield, and so negated the shield, and finally killed one of the dwarf minions. Thankfully, and that's going to give her 1 whopping micro XP. That was her first attack, second activation. So for her last activation, let's see what she can do. Yeah, that doesn't matter. She got defended against mightily and did nothing more. So far, 3 characters have gone in the room. We've killed 1 minion. All right, now let's go. Now the good news is that we're going to get 1 yellow die versus 2 blue dice. So this is now in the reverse. She's a better defender because her long sword that I gave her actually gives her a blue die in defense. She can parry with it. So that couples with her leather armor. So 2 blue die versus 1 yellow die. Let's see. She blocked, but what did we get here? We got 1 hit, so she blocked it. Okay, so she blocked the counterattack by the dwarves. And that is the end of her action. So we are not doing well again. Next up, and lastly, we have Sybil. So Sybil is going to just move to here, I think, and attack with her bow. She's got 2 yellow dice, and they can't go out and counterattack her, which is good, but she doesn't get any of her shadow abilities. So it's going to be 2 yellow dice versus 2 blue dice. Let's see what she can accomplish. So, wow, she did exceptionally well. She didn't get any BAMs, which would have given her +2 attack if she was in shadows. But she did do 4 points, and they did not defend anything. That is outstanding. So, 1, 2, 3. Now, there is no more minions left. There is only the boss left. She cannot damage the boss in the same round that she had to kill a minion. You have to damage it separately. So she does, however, get 3 experience points. Thank God for Sybil. Sybil comes in, saves day. That was her second activation. So I think for her third activation, after that wonderful round, she's going to go. She's going to go 1, 2, slip into here. She's got slippery, so she can do that. she can move into the room there. Her slippery skill allows her to move past the enemy, and she'll be right there for the turn, able to attack from shadow mode if her companions whiff again. Hopefully they don't, but we are going to take, now that is going to be the end of the round for the players. Now we're going to go into the enemy phase. That means the boss there is going to attack. He is going to attack the one with the most experience points in the space. That is, so first they go after most experience, but he can't leave the space. So that's going to be Whisper. He's going to attack Whisper. That's good because Whisper's got 1 experience point, so everybody else has 0. So that's where he goes first. So, but she's got the 2 blue dice versus yellow, so she's got the best ability to defend. Let's see what she does. So, wow, he got 2 hits and a bam, but she got 4 total on her defense. That's pretty good. So she blocked all of his attacks. That ends the enemy phase. Then we go to experience phase. We can't do anything yet because we don't have enough experience. And then we go to the event phase. Yuck. Okay, let's draw our event, see what we get. Unexpected, of course. I can't not spawn a roaming monster. Place the enemy in a zone with the token to current level. So he's appearing at the door to where we're at. This is going like the round before, except hopefully I don't have anything quite as tough as the Minotaur. If I get the Minotaur, I'll just stop again. No, the Ogre Mage. He's pretty bad too. Hopefully we can stop him. We'll see. I doubt it, but we'll try. Hold on. Okay, here's the Ogre Mage figure. He's pretty cool looking. He's going to appear right outside the door, and we're going to get him an item. Hopefully it's nothing he can use, but it is. No, it's a mace. I don't think he can use that. He can. So this guy is going to be... he's got 16 health. And look at all this stuff he can do, man. He is just disgusting. So he's going to roll 3 yellow dice or magic with 2 yellow and a red. So we got to get into space because we don't want him doing that. He defends against green. He's got all kinds of other stuff. He can heal. He's just going to slaughter us. I think we're in for another slaughterhouse event. So, but that is the event phase. That's it for the event phase. So let's continue on and have some fun. The dwarves lured us in to lulled us into some level of comfort where we're going to get slaughtered. Now, in the end phase, we're going to move this token. We're going to move it over from Sarah to Mila. She's going to go next. Let's get started. Mila's like, holy moly, look at that. What's outside the door? Oh my gosh. But we can't do anything about it right now. So what she is going to do is take her first activation to attack the boss. She gets a red die against the dwarfen boss. 2 blue dice. It's the Ogre Mage that gets green dice, and we're going to see if she can kill it. Well, I think she did, actually. She got it. So not only did she do that, but she got a bam, which means it loses a defense die, so boof. It is dead. Boom. That means that every player now gets 3 experience points. So starting with her, she's at 3. Sarah is at 3. Actually, Sybil goes up to... she goes up to 1 again, back around to 1, but then gets 1 real experience, 1 big experience for her. So she's now the most experienced character. And then Whisper goes up to 4 for killing the boss. Now, it's still her activation. That was her first activation. For her second one, she's taking a move action. She's picking up the 3 treasures. We're going to draw 3 treasure cards and hope we get something worthwhile. Let's see. A lot of good treasuring if we can get it. A great sword. That is better than the weapon she currently has, so she'll probably take that. The Armor of Life, she's definitely going to take that. And then, last but not least, a composite bow that she can give to Sybil. Okay, so she can rearrange right now for free. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the Armor of Life. We're going to take the leather armor out of her inventory. We're going to put this back into the slot here. She's going to remove the axe, which doesn't have any special abilities at all, and she's going to take the great axe, which means on a bam she gets another hit. That's going to help us a lot. And that is her second activation. Now, for her third activation, I think we're going to lure this guy into the room. I think we're going to. So for her third activation, she's going to go here as part of movement action. She'll pick up the other 2 treasures and see what we get. And she's in the space with Sybil, so Sybil will be able to get that bow, but better bow. 1, 2. We get 2 more treasures. What do we get? Chainmail armor and a dagger level 1. So everybody's got to come to where Mila is. And that's going to be the end of her turn. There is not going to be a counterattack because the creature is dead. And so there's nothing that happens. The Ogre Mage doesn't actually do anything yet either. Okay, that was the first player. Now we're going to move on to Whisper. Got that the boss of the dwarves also dropped this, so Mila also has this Javelin of Sure Strike, which does 2 yellow and allows for a reroll. But I'm looking at, I don't know which is better, the composite bow. Look at the composite bow, does 2 yellow, and then on a bam it may reroll 1 defense die 1 additional time. So they're kind of a toss-up, except, yeah, they're kind of a toss-up. I don't know. Alright, well, it's Whisper's turn, so we're going to go with her. I'm not going to bother to put her on the board, because we're just, well, I will, because we're going to make some changes to her sheet here. Alright, here comes Whisper. She is, her first activation is going to be to move here with Sybil and, with Mila and Sybil. Then she's going to do a trade action with Mila to get some items. Now she's going to take, I think she's going to take this dagger, which she will slot there, giving her now 2 yellow dice to fight with, and she'll take the chainmail armor, which is going to give her better. I mean, I don't know if I give that to her or Sarah. I don't know, guys. I just don't know. Yeah, I think she'll give that to, I think Whisper will take it. Whisper's pretty tough. She'll take it. Okay, so she's got the chainmail now. And he's going to give her, she's going to give her all the rest of this stuff. Well, he's going to give her the 2 leather armors and the axe as well, because she will use a free action at the end of her turn to transmute these. These go away. And we're going to get 1 level 2 treasure, which is a big hammer. That's awesome. Okay, so she traded up for hammer. She can't use the hammer yet, neither can anybody else, because we're still at level 1. But that is going to be the entirety of her turn. Well, she actually could move again, but she doesn't want to. We want to lure the Ogre Mage into the darkness, because we don't want to attack him when he's in the light. So that's going to be the end of her turn. Then we got Sybil. Sybil could move and shoot. Her first action is going to be to trade. She's going to definitely at least take the bow and javelin from Whisper. But I think she's going to arm the bow. Yeah, she's going to arm the bow. Okay. So she's got a composite bow now. It does the same damage, but it has a special ability. On a bam, it may reroll 1 defense die 1 additional time. So she can reroll the defense die against that Ogre Mage. That's probably a good thing. Then for her next 2 activations, she's going to do nothing. Okay, that's that. So, next up is going to be Sarah. You know, she could do her signature. She does have her command ability as well. Nah, I don't want to waste... yeah, we got to get this guy out of the darkness. That's what we got to do. So, we are going to back up, and that's going to be it. Everybody backed into the corner to fight this Ogre Mage in the shadows where they have extra abilities. Of course, he does too. He has abilities, they're not extra. But we got to do 18 points of damage to this guy, so we need the ability to do as much damage as possible. So that is going to end the actions for the heroes. They are done. Now we go to the enemy phase. So how the enemy phase works is he's in a space, he can't attack anybody, he can't see anybody, so he has no line of sight. So here's what it is. I just realized it's probably not gonna. This probably didn't work the way we wanted to. Heroes with the most experience. Okay, heroes in line of sight with the most experience. Heroes in a light zone with the most experience. So it's none of those so far. And then it says move 1 zone towards their target. Oh, sorry. Starting zone. So he's going to basically move to here. So we can't get him out of the light. That's the problem. And he's got ranged. Well, he's got magic. It's not the same as ranged. So how do we get this guy? I guess we could charge out and fight him. Just do it up. Alright. Well, anyway, the next... I should have anticipated that. That was a mistake. Next, we're going to pass that marker on to Whisper. Or actually, we're going to draw an event card, then pass that marker on to Whisper. What do we get? Rear Patrol. Spawn a guard card. Place the enemy in the zone with the token -1. So it's going to appear right outside our door. So now we have something else to fight on top of the Ogre Mage. Let's see what we get. we get some Goblin Warriors. Okay, Goblin Warriors, and they're going to be carrying what with them? A Scepter of Fear. So they can't actually use this scepter, but that's good. And we're going to go get those Goblin Warriors out. Okay, there, the Goblin Warriors have appeared. Not that that's going to help us much. Now, they have 2 blue dice for defense, 2 yellow dice for attack, and that's really it. They're just a level 1 mob. This is their boss right here, in case you haven't seen the miniature. And then the minions look like that. So there's 4 minions and a boss there, and we're going to move on to Whisper's turn. So let us start with, now again, I passed the first player marker on. I think we're going to start with Whisper, but we're going to take a break. We're going to end right there for now. And here's what I like from you guys. Tell me what you think I should do. Give me each of the turns. What do you think should happen? Now, of course, some of that's going to be based on luck, like our ability to kill some of these things quickly. I wish Sybil was going first, actually, but she's not, and because then she could just move over and start archering the heck out of these guys and draw them into the shadows, and we could kill them, but that's not going to work that way. That being said, tell me what you think, guys. This Massive Darkness is a fun game. It is typical of these zombie-side style games. There's a lot of randomness, man. A lot of weird, crazy stuff can happen that can just tear us up. And as you can see, it's bad stuff sometimes. So we are prepared to, I think we can take down this Ogre Mage a lot easier than we did when I attempted to take down the Minotaur. But we'll see. I mean, he's pretty tough. And he's got 3 yellow dice on an attack. We're going to have to get in there and do some serious damage. He's got 2 green dice on defense, which are the better of the dice, so his defense is very high against my weaker weapons. Luckily, I did gain some new weapons like the Great Sword and the extra dagger for Whisper, which has a bonus ability in Shadow mode. Blank results are a hit. So that's why we've got to get this guy in Shadow somehow. Maybe we run away from him and draw him in. I don't know. He does not have... We could do that. He does not have enough range to attack us, but now we got these guys in front of us, so I'm not sure what to do there. We'll think about it, guys, and I will talk to you next time. See you later.